Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be my breakdown on the B.Ware of SummerSlam Prizewall. There's a ton of good stuff on this wall. I'm on my free-to-play, and you can see, though, like, I'm not really getting very far. So, I think this Prizewall probably depends. I don't think, like, if you're a newer player, smaller roster, you're probably doing very well on this Prizewall. We had Lady Boss Battle was a big part of it. And just in general, this lady showdown right now, my lady's roster is super weak. So, uh, on the flip side, Merrick's account has like a ton of prize wall currency. I kind of wanted to wait to see where we'd get. I did do some spending on Merrick's, and then I've done really well in the first showdown. I got first, and then we'll see this showdown if I can get first as well. Bunch of points there. So he might end up getting like 2 milestones from the end, and the tokens, the coins and stuff are kind of weighted at the end. Anyway, um, it could be a hit or miss prize well for a lot of people. I don't really know where everybody's going to end up. I know a lot of people I've talked to that are pretty big players, somewhere between like 10,000 and like 40,000 currency, depending how much you spend. I would say if you're like free to play with a huge roster, maybe you're around like 8 to 10k right now, also depending on your faction, but there's still like I don't know where everybody ends up, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't really like the posters, right? I mean, I get it. They're attractive. People can want those, but they're just like, there's so much stuff on this wall. I feel like they're really, really overpriced. You could get basically two amazing plates for the price of one of those two posters. Yeah. So the McCool gear, I think, really depends on your situation on your roster. Like if you have mommy with gear and stuff, maybe it's not as big a deal. McCool gear, it's MP, so that's always nice. Useful for steel cage, useful to make it easier on your MP trainers. I think it mostly depends on your situation and what you have for plates and stuff, and how much currency you get. But it's a very, very good gear because it's MP gear. These straps are horribly priced. No way in 100 million years would I ever take those. So plates, this ministry business plate, it's not as powerful as a lot of other plates in the sense that, it's not doing 500%, it's nothing crazy, but it is extremely useful on basically anyone using multiplies. It's so a lot of times it's like a best in slot plate for a lot of those multiply gem users. So like this could easily be the best in slot on probably, I don't know, 20-30 characters, no shortage of them for multiply users. So it's a very strong plate, very good plate. I don't have one on my account, so this is probably for me personally, since I don't have one, it's probably priority one on Mherex. Punk's gauntlets are amazing. They add 500% on color turn. So good on Punk himself, his unblockable build with the color turns. Trickster Liv, really, really good on Trickster Liv. Striker Naya, really good on Striker Naya. And Acro Devon. Those four it's completely lights out on. All of them, like, ridiculously hard with that, right? The Viscera plate, really mostly for Viscera if you're doing his multiply build. I'm sure there'll be uses in it in the future. Again, it's 200% though, so maybe not super crazy. So like for pure, and then we have the It's a Trap. It's a Trap is completely game changing on a few people like Julius, Alexa Bliss. I mean, there's just tons and tons of uses for it. It's really good on new gen Acro Seth. So there's just a lot of, this is really good on a ton of people, especially in conjunction with the Tama plate. There's probably, again, 10 plus, 12 plus people this is a great plate on. So kind of for me, like, biggest impact is probably these two. Widest usage is probably these two, right? Very niche usage and 200%, so I don't love this for the price. I also don't have one on Mherex. I think I want to say I either have 2 or 3 Punk's gauntlets, and I would probably take another Punk's gauntlets. I think I have 2 Punk's gauntlets. Probably take another Punk's gauntlets before this. If I had 3, then I would take a Viscera plate. I have 2 It's a Traps. If I had 1, then it would be a really tough call between It's a Trap and this one, the Ministry plate. So, or taking 2 of these. And if I had 1 of these, I would take 1 of these. You know what I mean? If I had none, I probably would take the Punk's Gauntlet simply because it's 500%, so bigger top end. But again, you know, it really depends roster needs, who you have, who's really good for you. Royal Rumble plates, I love and hate at the same time. It's complicated. It is complicated. The green Royal Rumble, I love on the newest Liv, Revenge Tour Liv. It's so good on her, like really, really good. Because you can 2-click with her, it speeds her up. You only need 2 moves. It makes her way smoother. That's where I like that plate. The yellow one has some pretty good spots, in particular Powerhouse Goldberg. 2-click, really, really dirty with that. Is probably one of the bigger ones for me. Also, Flair, Showboat Flair. This is quite good on her. So is, though, the Ministry plate, and it doesn't take longer. So if I got to like 29K, I'd take this for Showboat Flair over this. The mic drop plate, by the way. But these are both good. Royal Rumbles are good. They just keep in mind they do add extra time. And there's a ton, anyone, you know, with a green gem buff and making green gems is who this is good on. Anyone with yellow gem buffs and breaking yellow gems, this is good on, right? Pretty easy to understand. Chelsea plate, horribly overpriced. Don't even think about it. Will of Cargo, solid. It's the ultimate plate. Gets you 100% on the green gems, so it's much more situational than the top one. But people using green multiplies. It's a decent plate. Dirty Deeds is solid on basically Hall of Fame Ron. If you are not able to 1-click or 2-click with him, this 3-click adds, you know, a bunch more black gem damage. Other than that, you know, maybe Dom himself a little bit, but you're honestly probably not going to run it there with Dom. I think there's, you know, if you're using his power gems, I don't know how much you care about extra gem damage, to be honest. Devil's Drip is much stronger at the same, near the same price point, a little bit cheaper. So like I would value the Devil's Drip above all 3 of these. And then situationally, depending on what your roster needs, above the Royal Rumbles, if you have the Yeet plate to go with it. If you don't, you know, then maybe not those. Buzzard's Beak Showdown Store, you can get it for 250K, so I don't have put good value on this. Universal Botchman plate, if you don't have one, not bad to keep in your back pocket. They're definitely going to design superstars around these plates. So I like it way, way more than the individual green. I don't like this at this price point. Very situational. You're better off spending the 800 more currency there. And then if you don't have enough for this, Botch Slapped I like way more than the green Botch plate, right? Glowing Fate, I don't like at all. Nearing End is very limited usage. And Devon Specs is okay. It's actually solid on any of the same people you're using the Punk's Gauntlets on, but it seems to pop up a lot in Chests of Disappointments and Feud and stuff like that. And Mark of a Hero plate, not good at all. So that kind of covers the plates. Moments, like these are really expensive. Ministry of Darkness is a great moment, for sure, but it's hard to take a moment over a plate to me. I would need to have multiple, like at least 2, probably like at least 2 of these, 1 of these. Although this one maybe a little bit less because it's so niche, but I think I would still want 1, and certainly 2 of these, and probably at least 1 of each Royal Rumble before I'd consider taking this moment at this price over a plate. This is the Money in the Bank one's also another good one, but again, super expensive. This one's way too expensive, so stay away from this one. Finish the Story Cody moment, that's way too expensive. SummerSlam, getting a little bit better, but it's not a super duper impactful moment in my opinion, so I feel like it's overpriced. The Yokozuna one is good for Hall of Fame Lex. If you don't have a good setup for Goldberg and you get everything for Lex, then you might consider this for Hall of Fame Lex, but Goldberg, at the end of the day, Goldberg with everything is still significantly better than Lex with everything. So keep that in mind. I do love this evolution moment, though, way, way more than this one. This is a fantastic moment. Everybody on here is just about basically usable. It gives 100% to health to a bunch of the lady showboats. Multiply gems, really, really good. This is a solid moment. The tag team one, not worth it at all. Way overpriced. Stay away from it. Invasion's okay, pretty decent. Honestly. Final Testament, you're probably not going to use any of the people in it at this point, so the Cena one's fine. It's pretty good if you got a bunch of Cenas that are good. NWO Hall of Fame one, nothing wrong with that if you don't have it, I guess. R-Truth enters Royal Rumble Women's. You need 4 tokens for it. Same thing with the Green Regime. I do like both of these. I definitely like the Green Regime one. I want to try and snag that on my account. Shards, the pricing is all pretty similar, to be honest, although Gunther and Yeet are super cheap, and so is Mommy for how good they are. So, like, Mommy's better than EO, in my opinion. Um, I think Drew is better than Gunther, but they're both really good. So, yeah, Jay Yeet is potentially the best striker in the game. Um, you know, Visser is really solid. Liv's really solid. Um, Actually, I like Visser a lot. He's in my top 5 powerhouses personally, so better than solid. And Liv is actually probably, with one specific build, she's my favorite lady tech, but only run one way. If you still don't have Cody, I think, you can snag him here relatively cheap. Naya, you're probably still a ton of shards away. But really good pricing. Horrible, like Fatu, not worth it. He's just on your roster for CSS. And Macho can be good with a lot of stuff. He's like Jacob Light, so if you have Jacob Fatu, you don't really care about Macho unless for some reason you want the Hall of Fame link or use the Hall of Famers, right? And then going down to these straps, stay away from it. Better stuff to get, whether it's a single moment token of the 4, like it's just not worth it, in my opinion. Um, and then Econ, that's what you do with leftover. This is all well not worth it. So kind of to me, the really, really big highlights, price-wise, I would say Viscera is ridiculously cheap. So for 350 shards, like compared to the other shards, I really like that. Same thing with Liv if you're still missing Liv. I think those two are really, really good, as well as Cody, right? I mean, like this should put people in a lot of range for these 3. So I think those are all great prices value-wise. I honestly think this whole row is great prices value-wise. I think Mommy's ridiculous, so yeah, really, really good. And these are all fine if you need them or want them. Jay, again, ridiculous, and then Gunther is crazy good too, and this is very, very cheap, well priced comparatively. So, but I don't really have any issues with the shard pricing. My problem is more, what are you giving up to get them, right? So that's more what it is. And you guys, if you watch me a lot, generally my primary focus is plates, and then maybe shards or moments after that, right? So it just kind of depends on you, what you like, what you need. I will say with all of the prize walls, what you should do is what makes the biggest difference for your roster. Does anything move the needle? Usually moments are enhancers, like similar to skill plates, but if like a lot of people have made the case or like say they think moments are more important than plates, but a lot of times if you don't have plates, you can't run the people moment or not, like to their best ability. I feel like having one of every plate is actually really important if you can do it. So when you're missing plates, it's a good chance to get them. And if you have a good chance, you kind of need to take it, because so often without the right setup, the right stuff, the right plates, you can't make people work or work very well. But I do think Mommy is one of those you might consider worth recruiting because she's so strong. She doesn't need plates either. She's probably going to be really good for a long time, um, seemingly. So that's maybe one where you kind of consider it differently. It also kind of depends on the plates and the moments, right? So far, like they've been, for how new they, like, this is really new. We've had a few opportunities. This is the second opportunity, and it's this month. I think it was this month, right? Maybe it was last month. This is for sure the second or third opportunity if you count Showdown, I think, for the Yoko moment, I think. Second opportunity for the Women's Evolution, or maybe even third, for that one. So like, and also keep in mind, if you do the Armory currency, check and see if these are in the Armory currency um moment pull. You know what I mean? Because potentially you can get it there. So do keep that in mind as well. But I really think this is fantastic pricing. This is probably my favorite pricing. If I didn't have this moment, it would be really hard for me to pass this one up, depending on what I would get in return. But I do have everyone on the moment. I have Mommy, I have I have New Becky. New Becky is also super good, by the way. So I do love that pricing. This one's okay. These are just really, 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 really expensive, right? Even if they're good, they're expensive, these two. So yeah, in here, I think super good value on probably Universal Botchman. Having one is great. Same thing with a Botch Slap. Devil's Drip is great. This pricing isn't really good because, like, in my opinion, this and having one of these on hand and a Botch Slap are all way more impactful than this level. Royal Rumbles are good. All of these three are much better here. And then, you know, Michelle McCool gear really depends on your roster, and these are terrible. So that's kind of my feelings on this Prizewall. There's a ton of good stuff, though. So there should be something for everybody, assuming you get to a decent amount. As you can tell, my free-to-play at 800, I can't imagine I'll get anywhere where I can even get anything. Like, maybe I'll be able to get, I doubt I'll even be able to get to like some Cody shards or something. So he's probably just taking econ. So for him, it's looking like pretty bad. I don't know. There's a few days, 3 days left or something. So maybe it'll look better, but I kind of don't think so. I hope I'm wrong. So that's my Prizewall eval. It looks great if you're like a medium spender, small spender, big spender. It's probably great. There's stuff you probably want. You know, if you do well in the showdown, if you can get first in your bracket, that probably changes your outlook a lot too, because there's so many solo points, and then you're going to get 55 loot pulls for the Coco thing, but that's a different Prizewall, which I'll cover in another video. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully this breakdown helped, and I hope you get a lot of currency. You can snag something really cool on the wall. And yeah, so this account, nothing for me. And Mherex is probably looking at, he really wants the EO shards, but they're so expensive. So I'll probably try and get, kind of want the green regime token moment, and a little bit want the Lex moment. But number one priority for Mherex account would be Ministry Business Plate. That's what I'll get first, because then I have one of them. And after that, second choice, probably, I have a Universal Botchman and 2 Botch Slaps. So second choice, probably, probably the green regime tokens or the EO shards, but I don't know if I'll get enough. And it's hard. Maybe not the EO shards, because that's the only lady I'm really missing. So I'll be able to focus her on other Prizewalls where there's not so many good things that I don't have. Like, I feel like the EO shards I'll have way more chances at than the green regime token, because there's 4. These ones when I can get 4, I like getting them all at once. So probably I would do that second, and then I'd start considering my options after that between the Yoko and if I get enough EO shards on Mherex. But that's simply because I have all of these plates mostly, you know? So anyway, that's my take on the Prizewall. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it helped. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. A lot of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. Hopefully you guys can snag something good for you. Always interested to hear what you guys are after and how close you are. Also, let me know how much Prizewall currency you end up with at the end of it, or even how much you have before the end of it too.